Hi, welcome back. This is Joe, and you've joined the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you so much for being here. I want to just take a moment to thank everyone who reached me out regarding our last combo, which was being in a season of frustration. I want to thank those who reached me through DM, through YouTube, through text message, through Spotify, and just shared words of wisdom, scriptures, encouragement, who just checked in on me. I want to let you know, that is exactly what this community is about. Even though I know my intention is to serve on our platform, but this is very much a two-way street. And I want to thank the beautiful souls that reach me to just say, hey sis, I see you. I'm praying for you. You're not alone in the season. I want to thank you so much because you really just reconfirmed everything that I know is true and everything I've heard God say. But we often need to hear it from another. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are seen, you are loved. I thank you, and you keep me inspired to continue doing what we do here on Tull. With that being said, I want to give a quick reminder, which is sometimes people don't want our help. Sometimes people want to stay saturated in their pessimistic mindset and hard life. And even though, yes, it is our purpose to plant the seeds, to share the wisdom and the truth, to share scripture, it is not our job to bring those individuals out of the mindset that they perhaps are steadfast in remaining. It is not our job to put our beliefs or our words and try to convince others of what our truth is, but merely give them words of wisdom and understanding and believing in those seeds, that those seeds will grow, possibly not in the moment we plant them, right? Usually not in the moment we plant them, but we leave them to do what the seed must do in that individual, and we just remove ourselves quietly, gracefully from the situation. And even though I know it's hard to see people we love and we care about just remain in this hard mindset where their heart is hardened, I want to just encourage you, it's not your job to save anyone. It is simply your job to hold space in love, whether in their presence or away from their presence. But it is only our job to plant those seeds and keep it pushing. When we try to rigidly give our beliefs or continuing to combat their negativity, quote unquote negativity, with our quote unquote positivity, and I don't like the word negative or positive, but we can use several words, with their untruth, meaning misalignment with the soul, and our truth, meaning alignment with the soul. Once we're combating, now we're trying to change someone. Now we are no longer rising above the situation. I want to encourage you, that is not your work. We deplete our energy by making that our work, to force feed someone our beliefs and our truth. So I just want to encourage you, if you find yourself met with an individual, family, friends, or even strangers that are just constantly wanting to down talk their life, or even if they want to down talk your life, it's of no concern. Meet them with truth, plant love, plant the seed, and then keep it pushing. I find this with I'll just say some people who I engage with in life, also in social media, also just strangers. Like, for instance, yesterday I was at the DMV. Thank goodness we only have to go to the DMV normally once every 5 years, or at least I do, right? My ID was expiring, and so it was time. I went to the DMV, and it is a beautiful, hot, crowded day. I stood in line for almost an hour outside in the sun, and I was enjoying it, right? I have no complaints. I'm in nature. I have time to take care of my business. I thank God for it. And I noticed the people, for the most part in line, were super just lovely. I had to step out of line a couple times. People held my space. People came to me when they needed to leave line. I held their space. The workers, I have to say, every single worker that I engaged with at the DMV was super kind, super gentle, super uplifted. Like, they loved their job. It's incredible. I don't remember the DMV being like this, but I'm sure, my life is showing me a reflection of what's going on within me. But everyone was just super in a great mood, for the most part. As I entered the DMV finally now, and we're seated, and now we got a number, and now, we're ready to be seen soon, I just noticed a couple of conversations with some of the women that came and sat with me. One woman came and sat with me with her son, and immediately before she sat with me, she sat her son down next to me, and she sat like her paperwork in between me and her son, and she got up to check like the monitor, the screen, and see what number they were calling. Her son just, briefly touched her papers, and she was walking back as he literally just grazed her papers. He wasn't handling them. He didn't move them. He didn't toss them. He just touched them. And she approaches her son, and she just starts, having at him, "Don't touch my papers. I've told you, don't touch this." And even as she took her seat, she's still ranting and raging for several minutes about how he touched her papers. God bless her. I wasn't absorbing that energy, but God bless her. Then she turns my attention to me, same energy. And she says, "I don't understand why the monitors are over there to the left and the right, and they're not right here where we're sitting in front of us." And I say, "Oh, yeah, interesting. I don't know why that is either." But then I look over as she's ranting, and I see 4 seats empty right in front of the monitors. And I say, there's 4 seats that just became available. If you like, you and your son can have a seat over there, right underneath the monitors, where you can see the number that they're calling. And she says, no, I'm fine here." Okay, then what in the hell are you complaining about? You can't see the numbers, but okay. Moving on. Next complaint from this woman. "Do you know if I have to take a test, if I'm doing a written test now?" And I said, and I'm trying to answer, I said, "You know what? I don't know for sure. I don't want to give you any wrong information." I said, "Oh, but look, here's a worker that's coming towards us. Would you like me to ask for you?" No, I'm fine." Okay. And then I just thought, wow, everything you're complaining about, life is giving you an answer to your complaints to actually resolve the complaint. And yet you are refusing to take it. You want to just stay complaining about it. And without knowing, you're actually creating more situations like this in your life. You're creating more situations for you to complain about, and refusing to take the answers that life's given you, the answers to correct the complaint. You just, dear ma'am, want to remain in this complaining life, this pessimistic mindset. And now you're also, because people who live like this in pain, they do exactly what she did. They spew it to others. She was spewing it to her son. God bless the poor son. She was trying to spew it on me, but I was totally protected from that. I withdrew my energy. But I just thought, wow, isn't that how life works? Right? Life is always giving us the answers to the problem. But if we don't want to accept the answers to the problem, then we just create more problems and never accepting life's solution to the problems. So then your life is just riddled in problems because you really want to just stay in this mindset where it's dark, where there's always pain, where there's always complaint, where there's always lack, where there's always challenges. And according to you, you will say, and there's never any resolve, but you're blind because life is always giving you resolutions, but you're unwilling to take it. She was living proof in real form of those of us who live in this pessimistic lifestyle. Now, thank goodness her number was finally called. She moved. Another beautiful woman came in her place. And now this woman that sat next to me, I actually was in line with her outside. She was right behind me. And now she's sitting next to me and she looks up and she says, "Oh, you're still here." And I said, "I am." And I said, "But it's going pretty quick, right? She's just now on the inside, but I'm telling her, I'm trying to explain to her the numbers are actually coming pretty quickly. Like every minute they're changing these numbers." No, it's not going fast enough. And I said, "Oh, okay." And I don't try to convince her. I don't even try to explain what I've been seeing. I've been sitting here for about 20 minutes. It's going fast. I don't even try to explain it. I just accept that she doesn't want to hear it. So, okay. All right, you're right. It's not going fast. And then she says, "I've been here already 2 hours and I had to be here last week and my ID didn't come. I applied for my ID 2 months ago. My ID was supposed to be arriving 2 weeks later. It never arrived. I've been calling and going online. No one's helping. So I just decided I will come back in to find out what's happening with my ID. And now it's taking longer than normal." And I'm just thinking to myself, bing, bing, bing. Everything you have just explained is a reflection of the mindset you continue to live in that you don't want help in. Let's rewind everything she just said. You were in the DMV 2 months ago. God bless you. You applied for your real ID. It was supposed to come 2 weeks later, but it did not. Then you went online to get the resolutions that you wanted. Online was not helping. You called someone. Whoever you spoke to, in your opinion, was not helping. You didn't get any of your questions answered. And so now here you are, landed back in this crowded DMV, trying to figure out what happened with your ID. And on top of it, it's taking much longer than you remember. When will we understand that life is showing up as a reflection of our either optimistic mindset or our pessimistic mindset? And everything, just speaking to her just a few minutes, I already know where she's operating mostly. It's in pessimism. I was trying to explain to her, it's going fast. Like, look on the bright side. No, it's not going fast. Okay, now I know where you dwell in your mindset. So where you dwell in your mind is where you dwell in reality. So there's no wonder why, for one, your ID didn't show up. There's no wonder why, two, the website couldn't help you. It's no wonder why, three, the people who you called couldn't help you. It's no wonder that, four, you find yourself back in the DMV, and five, it's taking longer. It is a reflection. It is a manifestation of our darkened mindset. When will we learn? It all begins with us. I had a beautiful time in the DMV. I had no problems. I was there 2.5 hours. I didn't care. I had no Wi-Fi. I brought my laptop to work, couldn't log in to my Wi-Fi. Oh, well, I closed my eyes underneath my sunglasses and I meditated. And I got inspiration from this convo, from what I was seeing on the outside. It was serving a purpose. And I got my ID. It's coming in 2 weeks, and I guarantee you it will arrive on time. There will be no problems. And in fact, I feel like it will arrive early because that's just where I'm dwelling in mindset. Notice how I didn't try to change any of the mindsets of the women. I try to plant the seeds of positivity, quote unquote, optimism, truth, right? Because honestly, the numbers were rolling fast in the DMV. Everything was moving quickly, but she couldn't see it because she was in this darkened mindset. I tried to explain to the woman before her, look, there's seats open in the exact position you want to be. She didn't want to take that. She wanted to wallow in her grief and in her complaining. It's not our job to change people. It is only our job to speak truth and plant seeds. I get this often also on my social media. I love my beautiful following that I have on social media, and I am so honored when people reach me with questions or clarity or prayers or things that they're looking at, and they just want a second opinion. And I feel honored when they choose me as one of their people to come to for advice. But I have to say, my narrative will never change. It's always going to be upbeat. It's always going to be resolution based. It's always going to be truth. From my point of view, I'm aligned with my soul, I'm aligned with God. So it's always going to be a place of truth from there. And so my words are always going to be saturated in love and in truth to the best of my ability. But as I speak truth into the situation that these people are giving me, and then they're just combating it with, no, I don't see the light. I don't see the world like that. And I don't know. It just seems angry. And oh my God, and I'm scared. And oh my God, I'm this and I'm that. Okay, you know what? Then God bless you. God bless you. I've given you scriptures. I've given you what my soul is telling me about the situation. I'm telling you how I view the situation. And it's all good. It's from a place of love and healing and laughter. And I know that situations may look dark right now, but you have to focus on what's happening underneath it. And it's always going to always work out. I am almost 50 and it almost always works out. It always works out. Not almost always, it always works out. And I'm telling you, it's going to work out. But if you don't want to receive that, if you don't want to hear it and you just want to come back with darkened heart and despair and it's not going to work out, then okay, God bless you. Go back where you've come from and wallow in that despair. I've planted the seeds of truth and love. You are dismissed from my messages. I don't need to continue to give wisdom where you no longer want to receive it. And that protects my energy. And protecting my energy means I'm just keeping my energy, my good, beautiful, pure energy that I've worked hard by trusting God, by believing God, by meditating on God's truth, by reading his word, by journaling gratitude, by living gratitude, by just being love. Now I don't need to continue to spill out that energy onto someone who doesn't want to receive it. I will keep it for myself. I'm here to encourage anyone who needs it. And I'm not just blowing it out my ass. I'm giving you the truth. Either way, like if you're coming to me in a situation and it's hard for me to say, maybe something you don't want to hear, it's hard for me to say it, but if I feel like it needs to be said because that's truth, it may be uncomfortable for me to say it, but that's my truth. And I have to just give you that truth. And at the same time, when you come to me and I see that, you know what, this is all good. Don't worry. You are on the right path and all is going to work itself out, but you don't want to receive that, then okay. God bless you. Again, not our job to heal or change anyone. It is simply our job to plant the seeds and let the seeds do what they must. I want to ask you, where do you dwell in mindset? Where you dwell in your mind is where you dwell in reality. Those poor women those strangers that I met yesterday, have no idea that they are creating their reality with their mind. They are creating all the pain that they feel and that they see in the world in their mind. And life is showing them where they are dwelling mentally. And so where you dwell mentally is where you dwell spiritually and physically. Go heal some things. Next time, perhaps when life shows you a solution, you'll take it. You'll begin to change the narrative that's going on within your mind. I also want to point out before I go, what are you sharing on social media? I have a beautiful friend who, I've been counseling, I would say, for many years, and she is tremendous growth throughout the years. I'm just so proud of her. Tremendous. And there's this one little area. We all have this one area where we're still growing. We're not growing leaps and bounds in that area, but we are growing. For me, it was hardest for me to heal matters of the heart. That was my biggest wound for sure. And that's where I had slow growth. For this girlfriend, she has slow growth in one area, and I see it. Like everything she sends me on Instagram, she thinks it's funny, and I'm thinking, that's just a reflection of your wound. Why are we still sharing this shit? Why are we still laughing at this toxic shit? It's a reflection of what's going on underneath you. And so for this girlfriend, you probably guessed it, it's in the matter of relationships. And it's in the matter of poking fun of men and women. And I don't want to see it. Don't forward me things that are talking down about men. Don't forward me things that are talking down about women. I don't want to see it. I don't subscribe to it. I don't live from that point of view. I don't make fun of other people. Don't share it with me. Honestly, take a closer look at yourself. Why are you sharing this? Why do you find humor in poking fun of toxic relationships, toxic mindsets? It's a reflection of what's going on within you. So I want to challenge all of us too. We may think it's simple. We may be just, oh, it's funny and I'm going to share it. And I understand there is a point where, yeah, humor is humor and it can be fun. But is that mostly what you're sharing? Is that showing you something, some wound that still needs to be healed within you? If you are constantly sharing things, talking about men are toxic and men ghost me, and I'm finding humor in that, perhaps we should look. Do we really find that funny? Is that happening in our own life? Like, why are we sharing these things? Why are we continuing to have this a part of our narrative? I'm super intentional in everything. I love to laugh. I'm constantly sharing funny memes with friends, and they're gut-busting hilarious. But I will say, it's not at the expense of someone else. Someone else's maybe toxic masculinity or toxic positivity or toxic whatever. Just a thought. I just felt led to throw that in. What are you sharing with other people? Is it a story that we still haven't healed within ourselves? Perhaps we look at that also. That's all I have. Just a reminder, not your job to drag anyone out of their negative mindset, quote unquote negative mindset, into something else. You plant the seeds, you hold the space in love and in prayer, and your job is done. Thank you so much for joining this convo. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again soon. Bye for now.